it is becoming a bit of because what Tyler has said, someone needs to be blamed, and there's probably for not a good start on a homestand, and there has to be finger pointing. And right now, the finger is not being pointed at Benning. The finger is being pointed, seems to be pointed a little bit at Travis Green. Mm-hmm. Is he on the hot seat?
I think anytime you get off to a slow start and your team's made a big splash in the offseason, you're on the hot seat. I mean, we saw this with the Flames last year, right? They had an aggressive offseason going into last season, and then they got off to a poor start, and there was a coaching change.
So, okay, well, maybe let me dig into this more. Is it fair he's on the hot seat?
To a degree?
I had the other night, one of my closer friends were talking about the Canucks, and quite animatedly so, because we were frustrated with how things were going, and losing to Edmonton is never fun. The word that he used was that the team offensively looks muzzled. I think that's the right word for it. It just like they just don't seem to be, for whatever reason, playing to their full potential, and you have to then wonder, is it the system, is it the coaching? That's always an easy one to start pointing to, is the coach allowing these guys to run freely and play to their strengths? I didn't see the game against the Oilers. I was busy refereeing hockey, and then I was yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to catch up on it, but I imagine it was much similar to the other games on the homestand, where the Canucks are reasonably competitive and close, but close doesn't count in hockey. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as we all famously are aware of. So, something has to change. For me, the power play is just unwatchable. That's on coaching. I mean, you got your 5 best players out there in theory on your first power play unit on any team, and this group isn't getting it done. So, I don't know, but at the same time, will there be a coaching change? No, there's no way. They're they just signed him to a new contract.
Can I start the chant here? Bring back Torts. Bring back Torts. Bring back Torts. No,
yeah. No, you want to see? The only reason you want that is because you want Torts versus Drance. That's what you want.
Yeah, I want good pressers. He's a phenomenal fucking quote. Oh yeah, Tortorella is. So that's what I would want.
And Drance definitely would be the Brooksy of Vancouver in this current market and situation.
100%.
For 100%. Sure. That being said,
Devin wants Torts in Vancouver because he doesn't want Torts in Toronto.
Torts is going to be in Florida before he's in Toronto. Keep is not on the hot seat as far as more so towards Green is 100%. We all know this.
The other reason he wants Torts in Vancouver is he wants a reignition of what happened a few years ago. The Canucks brawl with the Flames, and then Torts goes into the dressing room and Daryl Sutter conks him out.
I have a feeling that Torts has a lot more respect than towards Sutter than he does Bob Hartley. But he hates Bob Hartley. Yeah. And I mean, are we going to draw a correlation to the fact that he's coaching in the KHL in comparison to the NHL?
My hands are like this. Anyway, let's bring it back on the ditch here.
Yeah, we are digressing.
And the last reason why Devin also wants Torts back in Vancouver is he's on Team Chaos, and that would bring chaos.
Well, Team Chaos got 2 jerseys behind him. Of course, he's on Team Chaos.
My apologies for chucking a wrench into this, but hey, we gotta have fun somehow, right?
Look, the Canucks are what, 10 games in, 9 games in? It's still pretty early to be taking the sky is falling view on it, but it's definitely concerning. I mean, you don't want to be falling too far behind. That's what killed them last year.
Well, the longer this hole is being dug, the more reasonable it is to make a change, whether that is a coaching change or not. But obviously, the longer this happens, something has to change to cause the turnaround.
Yeah. Well, the biggest one is Pete Pettersson getting going would certainly turn things around in a hurry for the Canucks. Not to put it all on one guy. He's just one guy, but he is the most important guy other
I would
than
say it's
maybe
the offense,
goalie.
period.
Yeah. So if he goes, the rest of the offense goes, and so you start getting some wins and some power play production, and things will start looking a lot better. So, I mean, that's, I don't know, the idea that you need to take the coach that you just re-signed and drop the bomb there, and you know, I don't know. I'm reluctant to go that route quite yet.
I do not think that Travis Green's on the hot seat just yet, but there's a potential for him to be. I know there's fans calling for him to be fired, but they're emotional, irrational fans at this point. I think there's a lot more going on than just the play, because I've seen people say that the players aren't playing for him, and then no, it's not that. Right now, I think the Canucks are overthinking things. I think the Canucks are thinking too much. They've made adjustments to their system, and they're trying to get through them. I think that's what's happening right now. They are playing with the instinct. They are playing with instinct. They're playing while thinking about where they should be on the ice. And once they can get past that, and if they can get past that, and if the offense starts going, this talk right now will be laughed at, because it was a bump in the road. But that's an if, right? That's an if. If this pattern continues, then yes, Travis Green's going to be on the hot seat real quick.